So good evening, everyone. My name is Erica Berry Wilson. I am the Chief of Staff for Health and Human Services and Education for the Office of the County Executive. It is my pleasure to welcome you to our public engagement forum for the county search for the next Chief Executive Officer for the Prince George's County Public School System. We're so excited to welcome you here this evening to hear from you, our county residents, about the capabilities, the knowledge base that you would like to see from our next CEO for our county school system. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on introductions. I do want to make sure that I allow our county executive, Ms. Angela Also Brooks, to speak with you, to bring you a few remarks, and then I will come before you again just to speak a few housekeeping notes for our evening. So on that note, it is my pleasure and honor to bring before you County Executive Angela Also Brooks.
Good evening, everyone. Certainly want to thank all of you for taking the time out to come and have an opportunity to have us hear your concerns tonight and your desires for our school system. And I want to just thank everyone who helped to organize tonight's community forum. It's an honor truly to be able to discuss our search for our new CEO to lead our Prince George's County Public School System. I want to begin by providing a brief update on where we are with our search. But first, I think it's important to help familiarize everyone here with the search process. In fact, many aspects of our work to find a new CEO for our school system are mandated by law. I believe that this is a really important point. I want everyone to be aware of that because we've heard so much about input around this process, but I think it's extremely important for everyone here to begin to understand that at the outset, to level set, that this is not a process really that leaves a lot to the imagination because it was set in stone by state law, and it is our intention to follow the law to the letter to make sure that this process is an open process. So our diligent work over the past few months has followed a process, as I've mentioned, that's set out by the state of Maryland. It is designed to ensure a fair search is conducted, and this process ultimately helps us select a qualified candidate to lead our school system. We have also made sure that there are plenty of opportunities for engagement to ensure that our community is heard during this important process. In March, we selected a national search firm, Hazard Young, Atea and Associates, to assist with this search process. Following that, you should know that a 3-member search committee was formed in accordance with state law. The committee includes 2 county residents selected by the governor and 1 member of the State Board of Education appointed by the state superintendent. Our search committee members are Brigadier General Warner Sumter, who is a member of the State Board of Education, Aretha Bridgewater Sims, who is a retired educator, and Candace Hollingsworth, a parent within our school system. We are excited to have this outstanding team working to find the best leader for our public schools. And I want to thank our search committee and members of our search firm who are here with me tonight on stage to listen to feedback from the community as we move forward in this process. And tonight's forum is not the only way that we've been engaging our community during this process. Our search firm has conducted focus groups, interviews, and surveys to engage the community and gather feedback. In fact, our county-wide online survey received responses from 5,400 community members and stakeholders. The majority of the survey responses came from Prince George's County Public School staff, followed by students, then parents. The results indicate that respondents believe the ideal CEO candidate is courageous, innovative, a collaborative leader, and an outstanding communicator. Furthermore, survey respondents believe our new CEO should be transparent, exhibit integrity, empathy, and determination necessary to serve in the role as our school's CEO. Our survey also showed that respondents believe Our next CEO should possess vast experience in kindergarten through 12th grade instruction and administrative leadership, and that the ideal candidate should have a passion for student success in all areas of growth and development. Survey respondents also believe our next CEO should have the ability to create and foster a safe and open learning environment for our youth. So tonight I'm excited to be here with all of you for the opportunity to hear your ideas and concerns so that we can continue to incorporate them into this important search. With that in mind, I want to thank you all for being here to participate this evening, and I don't have to tell you that whomever we select to be the next CEO of our public school system will have a huge impact on our schools, teachers, and students. Our current CEO, Dr. Monica Golson, deserves credit for the tremendous impact that she has had on Prince George's County Public Schools. Under her leadership, our school system provided the most significant salary increase in a generation to employees. We also broke ground on 10 new schools and expanded mental health services for students. Furthermore, Dr. Golson responded to a once-in-a-lifetime challenge during the COVID-19 pandemic, shifting all students to virtual learning, which had never been done before. Dr. Golson helped make that possible, leading one of our nation's largest school systems through a historic pandemic. And so I want to again thank her for her important contributions and for her commitment to our students. Now, I think it's clear that we're looking for a new CEO who can carry on this important work and continue to lead our school system to even greater heights. Our county, along with the state of Maryland, are making historic and unprecedented investments in education. With the right leadership, our school system can provide new opportunities that our students deserve. I look forward to working with our search firm and search committee to find an excellent candidate to lead our schools going forward. Thank you all once again for being here. And now I'll turn things back over to Erica Berry Wilson for some housekeeping so that we can get started. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Madam County Executive. So as Ms. Alsobrooks mentioned, I'm going to go over a couple of housekeeping rules. Again, I want to thank each and every one of you who have signed up. We do have approximately 47 speakers who have signed up for this evening. As noted in the information that was disseminated with regard to this forum, we are allotting 3 minutes per speaker. We will be utilizing a timer to make sure that we keep everyone's comments as concise and brief as possible. Also, we have mics located here at the bottom of each aisle so when your name is called, and I will call each name, you come up to each aisle, each microphone to provide your comments. Please know that this is a listening session only. So if you were to pose any questions or expecting a response from either our county executive or the search committee members, that is not what we would like to do tonight. What we would like to do is hear from you to gather the information. That information will be synthesized and used as we look at our possible candidates for CEO and move forward in the consideration process. So again, I thank you all for coming this evening to share your input and your insight and your suggestions. And on that note, we will start with our first speaker. And I want to apologize in advance. I will try my best to pronounce names as well as possible, but I do want to apologize if I do mispronounce any names. Our first speaker for this evening is Mr. Jason Gordon.
Check one. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jason Gordon. I am a lifelong Prince George's County resident. I'm a graduate of Prince George's County Public Schools. I also am the parent of 2 Prince George's County Public School students, and I'm also an employee of Prince George's County Public Schools. I've been an employee of Prince George's County Public Schools for 19 years. First, I want to say thank you to Dr. Golson. Dr. Golson has done a tremendous job leading Prince George's County Public Schools in unprecedented times. I'm looking for the timer. That's really what I'm looking for right now. Or is the timer not visible to the speaker? I'm looking for the timer.
Oh, the time is, you have 2 minutes.
Okay, all right. I was just trying to see if it was visible. That's why I was doing all of that. Okay, but I do want to thank Dr. Golson for her leadership during unprecedented times in Prince George's County Public Schools, in bridging that gap between the previous administration and leading us through COVID. Now, as we begin to look forward to the future, I think that the future leader of Prince George's County Public Schools needs to be a creative coalition builder. That person needs to be able to gather the masses, and as well as to gather the masses of the different backgrounds of their employees and staff, and to lead them into the next era of Prince George's County Public Schools. They need to be creative with their vision. They should also have a vision of where we should go academically as well as safety-wise. There should be clear and concise direction as to where we're going academically, so that the educators or the foot soldiers, we know exactly what we're doing in terms of our marching orders. I believe that the next CEO should also not focus solely on the academic aspects of the students, but be a well-rounded leader to focus on the whole child. To not neglect aspects of Prince George's County Public Schools that we are actually strong in, i.e. athletics. Should not diminish the value of athletics, but also understand the return of investment that athletics brings to the entire child. Should not remove resources, but should provide adequate resources so that Prince George's County Public Schools are on par with other counties and other districts. There are a couple of leaders that do come to mind. There's Dr. Cito Narcisse, who I believe is the superintendent of public schools down in Baton Rouge. He was once an employee of Prince George's County Public Schools. He has been the superintendent of Baton Rouge Parish School District for I think the last 3 or 4 years. To wrap it up, as well as Dr. Ian Roberts, who's the superintendent of Mill Creek Public Schools in Erie, Pennsylvania, as well as Dr. Sharosker Coleman, who is currently an employee of Prince George's County Public Schools. I believe that these leaders will lead Prince George's County into the next era. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gordon. Our next speaker is Sela Gomez Shao, or Shao. And so we can save time as well as people come to the mic. Our next speaker, I'll call our next speaker, is Dolores Millhouse. If you could actually approach the front, if you're here.
Thank you. Testing your second microphone. Good evening, County Executive, Ms. Angela Olso-Brooks, members of the selection committee, and all those involved in the decision-making process for our next superintendent CEO of Prince George's County Public Schools. My name is Sela Gomez Shao, and I am a resident of Prince George's County, and I'm a proud 1975 Bowie High School graduate. I live in Bowie, and I'm speaking as an individual, even though I am an employee of Prince George's County Public Schools for the last 29, almost 30 years. I would like to first acknowledge that I am very grateful for all of Dr. Golson's accomplishments in the last many years that she has worked for Prince George's County Public Schools. As you know, Prince George's County had the distinguished honor of being the most affluent and educated majority African American county in the nation. It has not always been so. When I first moved to Prince George's County from Venezuela in the early 70s, the district was majority white, and under court-mandated orders for busing to integrate the schools. The African-American population grew to become the majority, and Dr. Jerome Clark became the first African-American superintendent for the school district. According to the latest demographic snapshot for the 2019-2020 school year on the Strategic Plan Transformation 2026, equity and excellence available in Prince George's County Public Schools website, the Latino student population has grown to, at that year, 36.5% of the total. It is now around 49%. The document provides priorities as well as the school system values. Of the 3 outcome goals, goal number 2 refers to excellence in equity. And it states in part that we are to become a culturally, quote, culturally responsive community that attracts, supports, develops, retains, and celebrates a diverse masterpiece of students, families, and educational professionals. Under the Equity Dashboard Analysis Work Session presentation on March 9th, 2023, also available online, you can find that the system learned in analyzing its data. Key learning number 1, groups of students are consistently underrepresented in success indicator outcomes. Key learning 2, consistent opportunity gaps in academic outcomes and program access. Under next steps for the March 9th, 2023 work session, the school district is 1, currently updating the 2022 Equity Dashboard data. The rest of my speech will be given to the correct person that's collecting. My last thought is, why do we still have only 5% of Latino staff? Maybe a Latino CEO can help change that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Ms. Dolores Millhouse, are you here? Okay, you're next, Ms. Millhouse. And then after Ms. Millhouse, we have Mr. Delvin Champagne. If you could please approach the front as well. You would follow Ms. Millhouse.
Good evening. Is the mic on? I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I made it. Good evening. My name is Dolores Millhouse. I reside in District 7. My children are actually taught in District 6. My thoughts as it relates to the CEO, I'm quite sure you're going to do a wonderful job in identifying someone who's talented, who has the knowledge, skills, and abilities. That's not a concern. The concern is being able to identify a person who will be able to deal with the political climate that Dr. Golson had to deal with. And will they be in a position to have individuals who are looking to work collaboratively, to work as partners in education, to understand that the goal is to support the needs of the children, the needs of the community that support that child. But it doesn't matter who you bring in if everything they do is scrutinized to a T. So what I'm asking is that we are identifying a candidate who's not just skilled, but who knows how to navigate the political climate. But we as a community, we got to change what we do as elected officials, the board members, the council members, our county executive. We all have to think about what we do as community partners to work as a collective. So no matter who you bring in, if they don't have the support of the people that are in position, if they don't have the support of the parents, if they don't have the support of the students and the community, they will not excel. And so who wants to come into a school district where if I have the knowledge, skills, and ability to do the job and I'm qualified, but everything that I do is scrutinized to say that I'm not? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Millhouse. Do we have Mr. Delvin Champagne here? All right, our next speaker is Gabriel Genebot, if I pronounced that correctly. Gabrielle, is that you? Okay, thank you. And then after Gabrielle is Jacqueline Priestley. If you're here, please come to the front. And again, I apologize if I messed up the name.
Everybody does that, but it's fine. I could, well, I can pull this up. Well, my name is Gabriel Genebot, and the N is silent. I moved from Cameroon 24 years ago straight into Prince George's County because I had a dogged and unwavering belief for the possibility of our district and for the country. I watched for the past 24 years. I have 3 children in the public schools, 1 in high school, 1 in middle school, and 1 in elementary school. And for the past years, our district has not been doing well when it comes to our educational system. And I'm hoping that with a new school superintendent that's going to be chosen, is someone that would not politicize the education of our children. Our children is the next generation of everything this nation is all about. And if we are not taking into consideration giving them world-class education so they can compete with children coming from all over the world, then that's a serious problem. We have a very poor report card that everybody knows about. We are at 8% when it comes to math, 24% when it comes to reading, 76% when it comes to graduation, down from 79% from 5 academic school years ago. This is the United States of America. We must take into serious account what the education of our children is and will be. And that means that, ma'am, we have to be very mindful of who is going to be the next superintendent of our schools, because this is what we all are all about. This is why we moved to this country, because we believe that the country is the best. We are the United States of America. We could do better for our children. It is very, very important that we do not politicize the education of the children that are going to be the next county execs, the next CEOs, the next governors, and if why not president of this country coming from our district. So ma'am, as this decision is made, I want you to think about it seriously and knowing that the future of the next generation of children is squarely in your hands. And the decision that has to be made must not be a political decision, but a decision for the next generation of children that will run this country and run the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we have Ms. Jacqueline Priestley. Are you here, Ms. Priestley? Okay. Mr. Timothy Meyer, and then our next speaker after Mr. Meyer is Joseph Jakuta. If you could please come up to the front if you're here, sir, as well.
Thank you. I'm Timothy Meyer, a 4-year PTO leader at Mount Rainier Elementary, one of the 178 traditional neighborhood schools who are the backbone of public education. For an example of what the next CEO should embody, look to the past 5 years. First, let's acknowledge, PGCPS cannot replace Dr. Goldson. Those are shoes too big to fill, even for the most qualified applicants. What we can do is find the best possible choice to take Dr. Goldson's many successes, continue to build on them, and bring their own leadership to our schools. I'm sure any finalist will meet basic academic and professional criteria. What will be harder to find is the intangible qualities that set Dr. Goldson apart. The visionary leadership that made Prince George's County a national pioneer on climate change. The steady temperament and commitment to follow the science and data in a crisis like COVID. The courage to stand up to political pressure when needed, whether from Annapolis or Upper Marlboro or anywhere else. An understanding of what it really means to be a student and parent here in Prince George's County, and the necessary empathy and genuine care and concern that I saw so often for a truly diverse group of students. I want to emphasize that last point, because when Dr. Goldson first announced her retirement, some critics decided to take some shots at her and say we needed fresh ideas, fresh perspective, a nationwide search. I'm open to anyone who's able to successfully lead our schools, but let's be very clear. Under Dr. Goldson's leadership, PGCPS is working. This isn't several years ago when we needed a major shakeup. Under Dr. Goldson, we've made it through a global pandemic, and we're making real progress and getting stronger every day. PGCPS already is, or has the potential to be, a national leader on sustainable climate policy, arts education, walkability, green schools, P3 construction, and so many more things. There's always more work to do, but I'm PGCPS proud to be part of this school system and strongly encourage you to focus on some of the brilliant leaders we already have on Dr. Goldson's team and promote the most exceptional, visionary one of them to keep building on the successes already happening. Whoever the next CEO may be, I'm here to publicly offer support and collaboration for a smooth transition, and to be a voice not only for my school, but for a better PGCPS for every student in the system. Thank you very much for the time to speak.
Thank you. Mr. Joseph Takuda, are you here?
Thank you, County Executive Brooks and the Selection Committee. My name is Joseph Takuda, and I'm the lead volunteer of the Climate Parents of Prince George's campaign and a proud parent of 2 PGCPS students. Firstly, we must say that Dr. Goldson has been an exemplary leader on all of the various issues facing our school system, including the climate issue. She has also become a national leader on school climate action, which is a testament to her abilities and strength. We are saddened that she is retiring, but are happy for her on the next stage. We feel it is essential for the new superintendent to continue this work. We know that climate change is often thought of as a secondary issue, but it is important to have a superintendent that acts on it for our children's planet, health, and general well-being. Plus, many of the solutions create long-term benefits, both financial and otherwise, to PGCPS. Some examples are that switching into electric buses will save on operating costs while making our kids' rides healthier, and that improving the situation with food waste will result in less food costs while giving students healthy meals to learn on. It's also important for the next superintendent to champion the children's climate education, whether those in the STEM track who are mapping out the solutions of the future, or those in the CTE program that are learning to install heat pumps or fix electric cars. I will say PGCPS staff have played an important role in getting PGCPS to where it is on this issue. We understand the staff meets regularly with Dr. Goldson and are developing irreplaceable expertise. The new superintendent must show that they take the work of the staff seriously on this issue and continue on this path. We will also submit more detailed comments on Friday, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. So our next 2 speakers are President Martin Diggs and James William Thompson. So if you could please come up towards the front. And after James William Thompson, we have Shelley Williams. So again, if you could proceed towards the front.
Good evening. Thank you. Excuse me. I'm President Martin Diggs of ACE ASME Local 2250, approximately 6,000 Prince George's County employees of educational support personnel in Prince George's County. I've been a part of, our organization has been a part of the focus group to make sure that that you all do select a qualified CEO. So I don't have any concerns there. My concerns is actually 2 points, and that's one is this. I'm here today to be in support of, and I hope that you will allow the next CEO to create a position which is called the advisor to the next CEO. The current advisor has been extremely instrumental to make sure that Local 2250 and the ESPs across Prince George's County has been very effective. So I hope you will allow the next CEO to make that same decision, that you can create that position. Some of the things that need to be, that this advisor needs to have is they need to have a very good relationship with those in the county. They need to be professional. They need to be able to advise and have a broad network of contacts and be able to draw upon the expertise of individuals from various industries and in different sectors. This will allow them to bring a diverse perspective to the table and to ensure that the CEO is receiving well-rounded information. In the terms of qualifications, the ideal candidate for the advisor to the next CEO would be someone who has a proven track record of success in a leadership role, has excellent communication skills, and is able to work collaboratively with others. They should also possess a deep knowledge of our county's history, values, and priorities. I strongly believe that creating the advisor to the next CEO position would be a wise investment for our county. The second point is this. I do understand that the Bill 437 has not been passed yet, but this organization called the department, the Office of Integrity and Compliance, this is a new office, and hopefully that they're going to be created in order to make sure that they're going to work with the CEO in order to make sure that proper decisions are made. I do not understand why we need another office in that area, because where the funds are going to be going to, where we could use those funds in different areas. I have multiple questions on this area, with this department. Is this office already in place? Who's in the group? What's the strategic plan of this department? How much money is being funded for this new office, and how are they being transparent? I don't want this to be another organization that just rubber stamps what the current initiative or what the current plan is. This next CEO should be someone that's allowed to make sure that they're going to continue to make Prince George's County, the students in Prince George's County, a better organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Diggs. James William Thompson, are you here? Okay. Our next speaker is Shelley Williams. Ms. Williams, are you here? Okay, our next speaker, Shelley Williams. Our next speaker is Ms. Belinda Queen. And then after Ms. Belinda Queen, we have Ms. Phyllis Wright.
Good evening, Madam County Executive, and to the residents of the great Prince George's County. I am the Belinda Queen, the only queen of Prince George's County. I just want to say this is an important position. I'm kind of disappointed to see that it's not that many residents in the order. This is for our children, our future. And it's so very important that we make sure that we get the right selection. And it was already stated a lot of great things, I mean, especially about Dr. Golson. It will be hard to replace her, but it is better to keep someone in-house. Another thing that was stated, that was already stated, so I don't want to say some of the same things, is we got to stop the political clout from messing within our school system. As I served on the Board of Education, I came in the same time as Dr. Golson, and I was so proud to serve under her, being able to talk to her, being able to communicate, and we have to have a CEO that does that with the board member and with the community. She has done so many great things, and it was already stated that her shoes will be hard to fill, but we gotta have a visionary who had the same vision that she had in leading the children of Prince George's County, which we call our scholars, our future. So that's so very important. But where I'm disappointed on another level is that our elected leaders keep messing in the business of Prince George's County School Board and our CEO and our school system. We have to stop that. If any decision, and I want to give a shout out for our board chair, Judy Meek and Murray, who's in the house, but if any decision that the board members, the people who are elected have already said no, for the state to go and make a change, we have to stop that, county executive. Our board members were elected to serve, and it doesn't matter who we get as a CEO, as a superintendent, if we don't stop people from meddling in the business of Prince George's County and let the board members, that the members of Prince George's County community has elected, serve and do their job, we're going to have a big problem. We could continue to have problems. We've had problems with Prince George's County Public Schools for the last 20 years. It's time for a change. It's time for people to get involved. And my last statement is these elected leaders who don't even have children in Prince George's County Public Schools. I have children, I have grandchildren, I was born here, I have nieces and nephews. They need to stop meddling in the business of Prince George's County Public Schools because you don't care about our students, because if you did, you would have put your children in Prince George's County Public Schools and put your money where your mouth is. We got to start taking care of our children. We got to stop having the elected leaders represent us, and they don't even have their kids in Prince George's County Public Schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Queen. We have Ms. Wright, Phyllis Wright. And then after Ms. Wright, we have C. Vincent Iwanoge. Iwanoge.
Good evening. Thank you for having me here. I'm a proud parent of 2 children here in Prince George's County Public School and the PTO president of William Hall Academy. I hope that we would fund someone would go in the same director as Dr. Golson. Dr. Golson has done a tremendous job. But piggybacking off of what Ms. Queen said, I wish the political leaders stay out of the school system and let the school system run the school system so it would be much better. I have 2 bright, young, intelligent young ladies, and I want them to move forward. And I don't want them to think that our elected leaders can come in and change the rules once we make the rules, because it doesn't seem fair to us or to the county or for the children. And I think as a taxpayer, we should be aware of what's going on in the county, even with the school system. We don't have a lot of parents. All of this should have been filled. This whole thing should have been filled, because this is very important to not just the county, but to everybody who has children in Prince George's County Public School. So hopefully we can find someone in-house, because Dr. Golson has a very good team that work behind her, and we can get a school board election that no one will interfere with, and all of our school board would work together with Dr. Golson or whoever our next superintendent is, and they'll work with the parents, work with the teachers, and work with the staff. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you so all, and I hope you all have a blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wright. And after Ms. Iwanoge, excuse me, sir, is Rosanna Rutter.
Iwanoge.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you, Madam County Executive. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Here on behalf of the African community, the chairman of the African Diaspora Advisory Board. I mean, where we're from, we don't even have this kind of sessions, and people usually are appointed. But I thank you for allowing this listening session. There's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go with other people. So I'm thankful that we have this session, and we'll continue to listen and also contribute anything that we can. But as everybody has echoed, Dr. Golson has done a great job, and will continue to contribute and also help with the pursuit of the new CEO. So thank you, and I'll encourage us to continue to speak out. Thanks.
Thank you. Ms. Rosanna Rutter, you here? Ms. Rutter. Okay. Emma Njoku. Emma Njoku. Okay. Coffee Smith. Coffee Smith. Okay. Bob Pettis. Mr. Pettis, are you here? Okay. Larry McNeely. Mr. McNeely, are you here? Teresa Thompson. Okay, thank you. And after Ms. Thompson, we have Sharon Baldwin. Ms. Baldwin, are you here? And then after, we have the, Mayor Kashina Cross. Are you here? Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ms. Thompson. I have a son that attends Peach County Public Schools. And like you said, this is just a listening session. I would like to know who made the call for my son not to attend school for school year 2021 and 2022. He didn't attend school, and he didn't attend extended school year 2021, and he didn't attend extended school year 2022. Now, my son currently resides in a group home. He's been there since April the 19th of 2021. I am the guardian of the person and the guardian of the property. I'm the only one that should have made that decision. So this decision was kept from me. We still had IEP meetings. We still had regular business in 2021 and 2022 as if my child was in school. And I asked the principal, why wasn't he in school? She's mom. I asked the superintendent, PG County Schools, why my child wasn't in school. But I guess she's gonna be gone, and it happened on her watch. I asked the state superintendent why my child wasn't in school, and she's looking through the computer and seeing that no one wants to tell me anything. Why would PG County feel that they can take and steal the education of a special needs child? Why would you steal his education? Why would you go over me? Go over me and not tell me. And now I am being held accountable as the guardian. Someone's trying to remove me as the guardian of my child because he did not attend school in 2021 and 2022. Shame on PG County. That's all I have to say is shame. Shame on you. Shame, shame, shame. And shame on C.E. Reed. Absolute shame on them. You don't steal the education of a child. There's laws in place for that. But no one wants to speak up. And God knows I've been in debt paying an attorney and advocates and things like that to help my child with his education. And then I find this out on School Max. Just absent, 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 absent. Shame. And I'm going to tell you now, I am going to go to every authority I can find in this state and outside the state. And if I have to go to the superintendent of schools for the United States of America, I want to know why my child wasn't in school. And I want to know why I'm being made the fall guy. And I want to know why I wasn't informed. And I want to know why we had meetings and that IEP team got paid. I want to know what's going on with Medicare. Medicaid, I mean. Because when my son has services in school and you got Medicaid and they're billing Medicaid, I want to know what's going on. Shame. I mean, I just sit here and I'm just so shocked because I just wake up at night and I just can't believe it. Because he has so many special needs. So many special needs. That school did not want to teach him. I tried to get him out that school, and we couldn't get him out. Shame on you all. Because you do not have control over your school. And the next superintendent, that's her job, because the fish rots at the head. Okay?
Thank you, Ms. Thompson. Ms. Thompson, please. Thank you, Ms. Thompson. Sharon Baldwin, I know I called that name. I'm just checking to see if you're here, Ms. Baldwin. Okay. Mayor Kashina Cross, please come forward. And then after Mayor Cross is Edwin Green. If you are here, please proceed to the front as well.
Thank you. Madam County Exec, to the board, to all those that are present, I bid you greetings this evening. Thank you so much for having this forum. I think it is so important that you have now given an opportunity to hear our voices. I'm Mayor Kashina Cross. I am from the city of Glenarden, but I am a proud parent of 2 Prince George's scholars. I thank you so much for allowing us to sit here today and have an opportunity to talk to you about programming. I think it is a tragedy that we did not have before and after care come back after COVID. We understood that there was going to be a new bidded contract. However, nothing came. At which case, when parents went back to school, then we had turnkey kids all throughout our cities. Babies that were 10-year-olds escorting their brand new first time in school kindergartners home. That's not okay, because parents had to go back to work. Please address the before and after care programming. It's so important, and it keeps our children safe. We are looking at a very volatile environment. As we're coming off of COVID-19, mental health and wellness is going to take a bigger place in all of our municipalities. I can tell you from my own, we've stepped our game up. We need to be careful to include in our school system counselor care where children can have an opportunity to vent and release. This is not a time where we expect our children to heal and move forward. I would expect that as the CEO of schools that we would have a corporate solution that matches the business market solutions. If they can do it at Booz Allen Hamilton and other corporate offices, surely we can do it too. Our children need us to be thinking ahead to what their mental stabilities are. It's not enough to ask them to go to school and be scholars if we don't give them an outlet. Sometimes they don't get in other places. 50% of the factors of concern that I have is impacting over the next 3 years. Diversity and inclusion, civility training, these types of things that bring and build good, wholesome citizens in our communities. These are also things that the CEO can look at as far as business priorities, which revolve around paying more attention to her customers, the clients, and the citizens. Excuse my her, it could be a he. I think it's important that our CEO looks at the Internet of Things. This COVID-19 gave us the greatest curse, but the blessing in that is that every child has a laptop at home. These Chromebooks have broken to the tune of 3 Chromebooks a year. Now, I have also been asked, can we help the schools get new Chromebooks? And I said, well, what's going on with the county? Internet of Things is here. Ensure that we put these laptops in the children's hands that don't break, that have some survivability to it, but allows them to build stronger. Don't take them away ever, because these are going to be the children that solve the diseases of tomorrow and solves the problems of healthcare and builds the next generation of things that we will need to retire strong. I thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Mayor Cross. Edwin Green, are you here? Okay. Joyce Benjamin. Joyce Benjamin. Jonna Parker. Ms. Parker, are you here? Okay. Ms. Mamie Small, are you here?
Good afternoon, everybody. County Exec, thank you so much, and the panel here for allowing us to come. I just have I know we're here to talk about the CEO, but I'm having an issue, a problem, trying to figure out what's the CEO role in a superintendent. I think that Prince George's County, if not mistaken, is the only school and only county in Maryland with a CEO. Is that correct? The only county in Maryland that has a CEO as operating our school system. Is that correct?
Baltimore City.
Okay, Baltimore City has a CEO. My problem is my kids went through Prince George's County, and I was so proud because we had a superintendent. And when we had the superintendent, we had a really good program for the kids. It was called the Magna program. The Magna program starts you from maybe the 2nd grade elementary school all the way through high school. And I tell you that the school was so important that the children stayed in that program all the way through So my child went to Cooper Lane, which started the magnet with the uniforms for the kids. We started that. And then they went to Martin Luther King Middle School, and then to Lower High, which is a university school. And I have to tell you that I thought that program was great because my daughter was supposed at 9th grade to go to another school. However, she went to the university school, which part of the Magna program. The children that went to the other school, they was scoring very high with 4.10s GPA. My daughter had a 3.86 GPA when she graduated. And when she took the SAT test, she scored very high. And when she went to the college to look for the college that she wanted to attend, when her score was so high because she had been in that program for the long period of time until she got a full scholarship. And so I'm looking for something like that for our new kids, and I don't know how we're going to go about doing it with the superintendent. I really don't see much that the CEO is doing, but I know that Dr. Metz had a good program, and their program helped the children to be able to go to college for free. And so I'm looking for a program that's going to do that, or someone that's going to work with that. And another thing is, I think we should probably get a new board that can work together. And so I think that if we do those things, our kids will probably, I'm not saying they're going to do better, but I know what I did. I have 3 in school right now, and then we have to move. People have to move. They're moving so they can go to a good school. That shouldn't be. I think all our public schools should be the same. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Small. I understand, Mr. Green, you are here. Edwin Green, please come forward. And then after Mr. Green, we'll have Nirvan Sengupta. If you are here, please come forward.
Good evening, everyone. And I want to thank the county executive for allowing us to share our feelings and thoughts. My name is Edwin Green, and I am an activist in the 25th District of Prince George's County. And I have had 4 lovely children come through the school system and are doing very, very well after their college educations. I want to share my thought. People are asking for these qualities from the CEO: courageous, innovative, a collaborative leader, outstanding communicator who is transparent and exhibits integrity, and has determination with empathy, a passion for students, success in all areas. A kindergarten to, of course, 12th grade instructional and administrative leader, which is a must. And I say to you that in my time, we have had these kind of qualifications and these kind of CEO/superintendents. My challenge to the board and my challenge to the county exec is the 2 words that I constantly use over the years with the CEO's position is retention and continuity. I have been saying and wanting that for over 20 years. I feel that we, as a people, need to stop, get together. I don't care how you choose to do that as leaders. Oversight, group, whatever you do, let's get a team or some folks together to sit down and try to find out why we cannot retain CEOs. That is where I feel the initial problem starts, before I can see any hope in a failing system. If we don't have continuity, how in the world, with the elaboracy of our school system, 130 plus children, it's been that way for years. We're growing in numbers. I thank the school system and I thank the county for that in terms of school buildings. I render. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Mr. Sengupta. And then after Mr. Sengupta, we have Stephanie McLeod. If you're here, please come forward.
All right, thank you for the opportunity to speak, and I'm happy to see that there is a forum. Would have been nice to see more folks from the community, but I feel like it was a little short notice for folks to come out. I'm a substitute teacher in the county, born, raised, educated here in Prince George's County, got an excellent education here. I left a career in data science to come back and start teaching because my friends and friends from high school that ended up getting elected to the Board of Education were accused of ethics violations, and the appointed members of the Board of Education tried to unseat them on the basis of bogus ethics violations. Washington Post reported on it, and they determined that the ethics violations that the ethics committee from the Prince George's County Board were without merit, riddled with errors, and I was left believing that the county executive's office, not the county executive, but the county executive's office is cloaked with too much power and is capable of political interference on the board. The minority of the board were appointed members, and they tried to unseat the elected majority. This is absurd. So I believe the county executive's office is cloaked with too much power. Also, with respect to the CEO search, I think the board should have more say in this matter, and especially after the board is going to be elected, an entirely elected board. Again, this is not a statement about the county executive, but the executive's office. The county executive's office has too much power. And one last thing I wanted to say about the CEO search. Our public schools are failing working class kids, kids that don't have any interest in going to college. Career and technical education is going to be even more important in the coming 5, 10, 15 years. I won't go into the details, but a number of analysts looking at high-tech manufacturing in Germany and in China are concluding that over the long run, there is a huge opportunity for America to get back in the manufacturing game, and it's going to be high-tech manufacturing. You need college-educated folks to manage, and engineers with college-educated degrees to do the design, but you need the technicians on the floor. You need guys that know how to operate a 5-axis CNC precision machine. So I would love to see a CEO or superintendent that has some background in CTE, or at least some demonstrated experience and leadership in that transformation of bringing more CTE education in a meaningful way, because I truly believe we're failing the working class kids with our public education. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you. Ms. McLeod, and then after Ms. McLeod, we have Ms. Tosin King, if you can come forward.
Good evening, Madam County Executive and Board. I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak and share my thoughts, or the community's thoughts. Everybody has had that opportunity to do that. I would like to let you know I'm Dr. Stephanie McLeod. I am currently the high school mathematics supervisor for Prince George's County Public Schools, and I am speaking from inside and out as a parent, grandparent, and as an employee of Prince George's County Public Schools. This is my 30th year in Prince George's County, and I have been through 12 superintendents since I have been in Prince George's. Yes, there have been 12. Dr. Golson has been the most dedicated, the most innovative, and tremendously well-versed in so many aspects of the school system. She has had many offices, as many of you know, but she comes to that with a heart that I would like to see continue. Before I share with you what I'm looking for, I want to also reiterate what we have in her. Through her dedication, it has resulted in a great partnership with the county exec's office that has done so much for the county. The school-based health centers that are in place, the one-to-one initiative for students in schools with respect to technology, the growth with respect to the infrastructure and the technology resources. So I especially the step increase for teachers and those employees. So I would like to thank you and her for that, and we do appreciate that. But as an employee of 30 years and a parent, I know that it is important that we have someone in place to carry the torch. I hope our next superintendent will be dedicated as well as knowledgeable of the demographics and the disparity within our county, and to make sure that we are working hard to level the playing field for all students. It's important that we have a superintendent that understands that as a result of COVID, a loss of human capital, mental and physical health concerns, that we have a term floating around called learning loss. And in most cases, our students haven't lost instruction. They haven't lost learning. Their instruction was interrupted. I can't lose it if I never learned it. If I haven't had a teacher all year. If I was sick with a parent home from COVID. So I feel as though we need someone that understands that, because a lot of times we blame students for things that are not their fault. It's important, too, that that person is dedicated to continuing the vision of building global students. We have a jewel here in Prince George's County that is so often overlooked, and I would like to see our jewel shine. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. McLeod. Tosin King, and then after Ms. King, we have Jasmine King and Sarah Creel. If you can please come up forward as well.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and Madam County Executive. Thank you for providing this opportunity to engage in this conversation about selecting a new CEO for Prince George's County Public Schools. My name is Tosin King, and I am the proud parent of a Pointer Ridge Elementary School Panther. I have spent time mining information and data to understand the county's decision to close our neighborhood school. What I have found are inaccuracies and comparisons that are not equivalent to our school. The county's 2023 master plan includes enrollment projections that indicate that Pointer Ridge Elementary would have flat growth over the next decade, and enrollment would not increase more than 288 students between 2021 and 2031. Today, there are 320 students enrolled at Pointer Ridge. In comparison to the schools surrounding Pointer Ridge, including Northview, Perrywood, and Woodmore, our school has seen the largest percentage in enrollment growth at 10%. The forecasted school enrollment published by the county for Pointer Ridge has already proven its error within year 2 of its projection. How can the county be sure that the remaining 8-year projections are accurate? There are 3 new developments within the boundary of Pointer Ridge that will bring 2,900 new residential units to South Bowie. Per the county, these new homes are projected to yield 100 to 115 new elementary school age children. There are already 11 new students from Amber Ridge development that is not even halfway built. Additionally, the county has not considered the turnover of homes being sold to younger families that have come in the already established neighborhoods, such as my 2 close neighbors that live across the street from me with young children. The county has shared its projected new student enrollment based on a case study from Beach Street community. The school designated to the Beach Street development cannot be compared to Pointer Ridge as it relates to the historical school performance and disciplinary data. The county projects it will save money as a result of closing Pointer Ridge. Less than 40% of the Pointer Ridge Elementary School students are bused to school. The rest live close by or are transported by parents before and after care programs or walk to school. With 100% of our growing student population requiring transportation and the high cost of transportation and personnel costs, how much money would the county save in the end? The new CEO should take these factors into consideration in regards to the closure of Pointer Ridge. We want a CEO that will not make our children the sacrificial lambs in the effort to save a few dollars, and uphold your vision for neighborhood schools. Lastly, we want a CEO that cares about student performance. PGCPS does not mention how its current consolidation plan will affect student achievement for better or worse. There are lots of risks in the county's current plan, so I hope the new CEO analyzes the information and data and is transparent in a transparent manner that is inclusive of those that it's impacted. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. King. Ms. Jasmine King, and then we have Sarah Creel, and then after that we have Mr. Delvin Champagne.
My name is Jasmine King, and I am a first grader at Pointer Ridge Elementary School. Thank you, County Executive Angela Ossobrooks, for letting me speak. I want a CEO that will not close my school. I love my school because it is nice, calm, and I learn a lot. I'm now in TAG, and I want to stay at my school. If my school closes, I will not see all my friends. It will make me sad to have to start over with new people.
Thank you, Ms. King. Ms. Sarah Creel, and then Mr. Delvin Champagne.
Good evening, and thank you for this opportunity to have our voices be heard. I am a proud Pointer Ridge parent of a second grader. We want a CEO that's going to value our voice. We've been trying to fight our school's closure for 2 years now, and we want a CEO that's going to take into account our students. We're worried that transferring to other schools in the long run is going to create overcrowding, and that our students will have poorer learning outcomes as a result. I personally have a son who's on a 504 plan, and I have not heard good things about the 504 plan at the school he's projected to go to. I am really concerned because he had a hard time adjusting to school. He did his kindergarten year virtual. His second year he was adjusting. We're finally getting in a rhythm. We're finally making improvements, and then next year should be the last year at the school unless a decision is made to reverse. So I would want a CEO that's going to take into account all these things and reverse the previous decision that was made to close our school. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Delvin Champagne, and then next we have Mr. Darius Hyman.
Good evening. My name is Delvin Champagne. Good to see you, King County Executives. Last time I saw you was you came to Cooper Lane Elementary School several years ago, Cooper Lane. So my name is Delvin Champagne. I am a licensed educator. Me and my wife, we're both occupational therapists, IEP, 504, special educators. The reason why I'm here, I am a parent of 3 students, Prince George's County Public Schools. My kids to attend Door Candy French Immersion School. The reason why I'm here is that we have to expand school options for kids. We have to educate farm kids by any means necessary. We have to create more school options and opportunities. We have to create more specialty programs. We have to create more alternative curriculums, because if we keep giving kids a cookie cutter approach to curriculums, that is a recipe for disaster. Research shows that if you give students a plethora of educational options, that they have higher outcomes. And so my charge to the board or the panel looking at a new CEO is, how do we create more school opportunities, more school options, more school choice, giving parents more opportunity to pick a school that is better in line with their child's needs. Because if you give a kid one curriculum, one school approach, a neighborhood school that's just all the same, that one size fits all, you're going to have low outcomes. And so I believe in expanding school choice opportunities, expanding specialty programs, expanding tag programs, immersion programs, science and tech, talented and gifted, fine arts, robotics. We should have more schools that are school choice specialty programs than we have neighborhood schools. And so my thing is, I'm willing to I'm in the community. People know me. I'm Delvin Champagne. My nonprofit is called Strategic Collegiate. We just took the talented 10 PGCPS students to Boston to the MIT Harvard Biomedical STEM Conference. It was a great program that we did. It was beautiful. And we want to expand more CTE biomedical STEM programs here in the county. And so my thing is that my charge is to expand specialty school programs. I know we call it specialty schools. That's the way they categorize magnet schools, but most school districts now call it school choice programs. And so I think we should consider that. I'll be willing to be a resource. I am here to serve. Go PGCPS.
Thank you, Mr. Champagne. Mr. Darius Hyman, and then after Mr. Hyman, we have Dr. Isaac Truth, if you are here.
Good afternoon, Dr. Golson, Dr. Alsobrooks, and Board, Search Committee. My name is Darius Hyman. I am the PTA president of Pointer Ridge Elementary School. And I'm the proud parent of 4 students who are in Prince George County School, one at Bowie High School, Benjamin Tasker, and as well as Pointer Ridge Elementary School. So the search for the new superintendent is a critical opportunity to ensure that Pointer Ridge Elementary School remains open and continues to provide quality education to the students in the district. The new superintendent should have a deep understanding of the importance of keeping the school open and should be committed to working with the community to address the challenges facing the district. One of the key responsibilities of the new superintendent will be to work with the school board and community leaders to develop a comprehensive plan for addressing the growing student population in the district. This may include expanding the capacity of existing schools, building new schools, or implementing other innovative solutions. The new superintendent should also prioritize ensuring that Pointer Ridge Elementary School has the necessary resources and staff to continue providing the high-quality education that it has been providing to all its students. This includes investing in teacher training, professional development, and providing access to the latest technology and resources, and ensuring that the school has adequate funding to meet the needs of its students. In addition, the new superintendent should be committed to building strong partnerships with the parents, community organizations, and local businesses to create a supportive learning environment for students. This can include supporting the after-school programs, providing access to community resources, and fostering culture, collaboration, and engagements. They can also take into consideration the new developments in our district, such as Mill Branch, Amber Ridge, and South Lake, which more specifically are estimated to produce over 900 Prince George County students, and a lion's share of them will be elementary age students. So overall, the search for the new superintendent provides an opportunity to ensure Pointer Ridge Elementary remains open and continues to provide high quality education to the students in the district by prioritizing the needs of the school and working collaboratively with the community and taking an individual approach to ensure that the students have the support that they need. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hyman. Dr. Isaac Truth. Okay. Stephanie Jones, and then after Stephanie Jones, we have Alexander Martin. And as we're waiting, let's see if those individuals are here. I do want to remind individuals, if you are here but did not sign up to testify, you can submit written testimony until Friday. And I know that link was made available as well on our flyer about the forum. So again, just as a reminder, if you aren't able to speak tonight, you can submit written testimony. Come on.
Good evening. Thank you for your time. I know you guys are busy. I'm a proud parent of Pointer Ridge Elementary student. I know you guys are here for the search of the CEO, but one of the main things I would want from my CEO is to keep my daughter's school open. It's been proposed that it closes. It was proposed last year that it'll be closed this year. Throughout the hard work of the PTA and the students themselves and the teachers, we are able to keep it open another year, but that proposal is still on the table. We would like it to be taken off the table. Our school is a great school. With the new developments that's going up around the school, I don't believe the proper inquiry was taken at the time. With new, like I said, new developments. I don't really have much to say. I just proposing you guys to keep this school open. This school is a staple in our community and has been for years. I'm a PG County ex-student, lifetime PG County member of life. Just please, just keep the school open, please. Pointer Ridge Elementary School. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Teresa Dudley, and then we have Sean Johnson. So Teresa Dudley, and then if Sean Johnson, if you're here, you can come up to the front. And if Mr. Johnson isn't here, then we have Elise Cannon Brown. If you can move up to the front as well.
Good evening, and thank you all of you for coming out tonight, because as a former teacher, I'm glad to see you here. I'm not a former teacher, I am a teacher, I'll always be a teacher. Thank you, County Executive Officer Brooks, Aretha Bridgewater, and my mayor from the State Board. It's good to see you. My name is Teresa Mitchell Dudley, and I'm speaking as an individual. I started as a substitute teacher in the county, then I became Miss Dudley, the computer lab lady. I taught 1st, 4th, 5th grade, middle school social studies and science. I recently bought a home here in Ardmore Village. I love this county, our educators, and our students. I served Prince George's County Public Schools for over 25 years. I served as the president of the Prince George's County Educators Association for 6, and I currently serve as the vice president of the Maryland State Educators Association. We stand at a pinnacle. I look around and I see the first black governor in Maryland history. The blueprint for Maryland's future was passed by the Maryland General Assembly in 2021 to transform public education in the state into a world-class education system. The blueprint will increase education funding by $3.8 million statewide each year over the next 10 years, including a record amount of money to Prince George's County. We will never see this again if we don't manage this right. I also see at this pinnacle over 15,000 dedicated staff and educators who care about our children. The next CEO must do what is best for children. They must coordinate federal, state, and local resources, not check compliance boxes. They must be a visionary to see how we pull all of these things together to do what's best for the children. I'm tired of the whole conversation about whether or not we have an elected CEO or appointed CEO or whatever. We have to get over the political noise and make sure that people do what is right. And Dr. Golson did that over the noise. And bless her heart for that. Nobody lost a paycheck during COVID. She took care of people. We need that type of compassion, looking out for employees. So we have to do what's right for the children. Whoever that CEO is, they must walk in the door ready, and they must know something about federal. We've got 98 community schools, 98. poverty grants. We've got all of this money. Now, if y'all want to stand outside and fight about everything else, y'all go do that. I want to work with the school system and make sure that we have the best for our children, because I plan on living here for the next how many years until they throw dirt in my face. I love Prince George's County. Thank you for having this event.
Thank you. Miss Elise Cannon Brown, and then after Ms. Brown, we have Edric Brown Jr. and Deborah Ellison. If you can move towards the front, please.
Good evening, how are you? Thank you for taking your time out this evening to come and listen to us. Eldrick Brown Jr. is my husband, he's not here. I'm sorry about that. Okay. I'm a proud parent of a Pointer Ridge Elementary student. He is in 2nd grade. The reason my husband and I purchased in that new development that was mentioned a few spokes ago, Amber Ridge, was because of Pointer Ridge. We purchased that house specifically for my son to attend Pointer Ridge. And we purchased the house, we move in, he starts school, and I get a notice that there's a potential closing. That just broke my heart because my son started kindergarten online. It was a difficult transition for him when he started 1st grade. So this is the first year that he's actually had a rhythm of going to school, learning, and being around children his age and interacting and having that social environment. And I'm really concerned about his mental health as well as the other children's mental health. When I told my son that there's a potential that he will go to another new school, he just couldn't understand why. He said to me, "Mommy, this is only the 2nd time that I've been in school and actually enjoyed it." Today, he actually got a letter come home in his folder asking him to join a STEM, a tag club, because of his math and science and how well he's advanced in it. And he enjoys it. And I don't want to see him go through having to move to another school, and I have a concern that it will be overpopulated, and he would have to be bused to that other school. And I live 5 minutes away from Pointer Ridge. And it takes an hour for those students in my community to come home when we live 5 minutes away. I can't even imagine how long it would take him to come home if he was to be bused to another school outside of Pointer Ridge. I also have an 18-month-old daughter, and that was my plan, to put my roots down in South Bowie so my children can both attend Pointer Ridge. I have 5 neighbors, and we all have 18-month-old daughters. And just talking to them at the playground, Pointer Ridge was also the reason for moving into Amber Ridge. So I just ask that the new CEO really considers the closure of Pointer Ridge, because it's really affecting the children more than anything. And I don't think you guys are keeping them in mind when considering closing, because COVID did take a big hit on the students' mental and their social. And it being their first full year of school with no interruptions, that's really big for them. At such that age, 5, 6, and 7, that's really big for them. And just to turn around and close the school at the end of the school year, that would be devastating to them. And I could see that affecting my son when he starts 3rd grade. It's not going to be good for him. So I hope the new CEO really takes into consideration that change. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Deborah Ellison and LaCrystal Martin. If you're here, if you could please come forward. And then after Ms. Martin is Vinia Cox as well, if you could come forward.
Good evening. I'm a new member to Prince George's County. My husband spoke before me. He's been a resident his whole life. My daughter this is her first year attending a Maryland school. We had a few schools to choose from, but Pointer Ridge just kept clicking to us, so we chose that school. My daughter hated her old school. She cried every day she came home. She didn't want to go to school. She felt that she was advanced in certain areas, but they were keeping her at a certain level. When we got to Pointer Ridge and we were able to meet the teachers and the staff, how they broke everything down to us, it was important to us. That being her first year, I think about the 2nd week of school, we were told that the school might be closed. be closing soon, so we protest, which gave us an extension, but of course it's still on the table for the school to close next year. So I truly, truly say this with open arms. We're always welcome to open anyone new, but they have to keep the kids in mind. Like the parents spoke before me, the mental is something serious with kids. My daughter, she's the only child, so she's getting all of her activities and developmental growth from being in her school with her schoolmates. She enjoys riding the bus, even though it's like a 2-minute drive to her school, but taking them from that, it's gonna be longer. And I know with her being in her school, they've had multiple kids enroll, so I don't understand why they're stating that the enrollment is low, and that's one of the main reasons why they're trying to close a school. Overall, anything closing a school should never be on the table at all. We can find money other ways to put wherever it needs to go, but when it comes to the kids' education, we have to make sure that we're there because they are our future. You guys sit up here, some of our kids will be sitting up here years to come. So we have to remember whoever we're bringing in, that they are there for the kids. I honestly say, to me, I wish it can be someone that has been in the PG community to know where they started to where they can go, because right now it's just up in the air, and to keep having to think that I will have to find another school for my child, it's wearing on the kids. And to know that the teachers at that school love their kids, they love them tremendously. They take time out to explain whatever needs to be explained, to tutor to them. So we have to take into consideration the kids are our future. So please, please, please keep Point of Ridge in mind when you guys are doing your budget. Take off any schools that you want to close. If anything, build another school, but do not close Point of Ridge. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Vania Cox. I am a proud parent of a Pointer Ridge student. So I really just wanted to speak on the new CEO's importance, or how they gauge the closing of the school. I want them to take into consideration that the decision wasn't made through us or with our approval, that we weren't, our opinion wasn't taken into account. They went to an outside agency, got data that was incorrect, and then decided and made a decision without considering our thoughts, feelings, and opinions. Like the parents before me have spoken, there's 3 communities that are opening soon and are open, that students are just pouring into our school. The students' mental health is of concern for us. We just really want the new CEO to consider our students and listen to our voices. We also, as a Point of Ridge community, feel like our voices have not been heard. What we want has not been listened to. So we just want to make sure the incoming CEO, like I said, considers the students, what's right overall for them, that closing a school is never the right answer. If anything, like she said, build a school, but closing one that's operating fine and doing well everywhere around, all around, is not the right answer. That should be a priority to the incoming CEO. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Ms. Cox. Next, we have Sonia Bravo and then Matthew Cox. Ms. Bravo, not here, so Matthew Cox. And then after Mr. Cox is Sese Nes Abetu. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly if you're here.
Hi, good evening, sorry. Just to echo the sentiments of all the other, I am a Pointer Ridge parent as well. My wife just spoke. I'm also a PG County Public School graduate. As far as the CEO search, I'm personally looking for someone who's going to prioritize the mental health of the kids, and who leaves the politics at the door, because that takes the focus off what's important in the kids and everything that they go through. I'm not going to repeat everything that the Pointer Ridge parents had said, but I also want a CEO who's not going to close Pointer Ridge. So that's all I had. Thanks.
Thank you. I think Sese Nes Abetu here, and then Momodu Kamara. and Richard Elliott. Okay, that was our last listed speaker. So I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out this evening and providing your feedback. Again, our search committee, our search firm, and more importantly, our county executive, Ms. Angela Alsterbrooks, has heard from you. And as we move forward in the search process, we will definitely take it to account the capabilities and the factors that you would like to see and the elements that you would like to see in the next CEO. I would like to hand the mic over to our County Executive, Angela Alsterbrooks, for any closing remarks.
So I want to just sincerely thank everyone for coming out tonight. We do really appreciate the time you've taken to come out and to share your concerns and to share your desires, the things you'd like to see in our new school CEO. And I'd like to just thank you also. The feedback that you've given us really is very important to us. And I want you to know that we will use it to help guide our decisions throughout this process. Now, I want you to know, did we miss someone? Were you? Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Go ahead.
thank you. Good evening, Madam Alsterbrooks, panelists, members of the community, educators. My name is Philomena Owona. I'm a proud parent of 2 PGCPS graduates and a current student who is here at Charles Flowers High School. I'm a member of the Prince George's County Educators Association Board of Directors, and I also serve on the state MSCA Board of Directors. I work at Meyer Angelou French Immersion IB World School, and as an educator of 24 years, it is an honor for me to serve the students and communities of Prince George's County. And with that said, a few things I will ask the search committee to keep in mind in the search to replace Dr. Golson for superintendent will be someone who is empathetic, someone who understands the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion, someone who understands the vital importance of restorative approaches in dealing with our scholars, someone who is willing to champion our need for less testing and more teaching, and someone, and by the way, the people who benefit from those over-testing, that's not us, just an FYI. We need a superintendent who values educators' voice and input. That over 9,000 educators are saying all of our students need to be fed. That's one thing. We did it during COVID. We can do it again. We are smart enough to do it. We have the finances to do it. We need buses that will transport our dually enrolled students and additional bus routes to service to allow those scholars to take advantage of such opportunities. My son goes to this school. He's an 11th grader. He is not here right now. He would have loved to, but he is currently at Prince George's Community College right now doing one of his cybersecurity courses. When he goes, there's no way for him to get home. Well, that's a different story. But even going to the school, once the bus leaves from here, for example, by 10:30, there's no other way for them to come home and they are stuck. So please, I will ask for you to please think about ways to allow that. I know I'm the last person in kind of pushing my way through here, but this is what we do as educators. It's not easy for me to stand here and talk to you, but I want you to know that educators are also suffering. You know, our students are they're over-tested, the anxiety is killing them, I can tell you that. Students are crying, they're doing all kinds of things. We cannot afford that. Someone said that this county is going to produce the next president. Well, I say so too. And our students are capable of doing that. Please help feed our kids. We need more busing, even so, because sometimes it takes so long, they walk so far to currently get to buses. It's very difficult. We need to recruit and retain educators. We are not just saying buzzwords. We're saying things that are truly impacting us. I have not been feeling well, but guess what? I cannot take off because I don't know how my students are going to cope. I don't know how my fellow educators are going to cope. That is stretching them to the breaking point. But it shouldn't have to be that way. So please really think about someone who is empathetic, someone who cares about the diversity of this great county. I do want to say in closing that I want to say thank you to Dr. Golson, who did an extraordinary job during her tenure, and I know that we can find someone who is going to be like that and continue the great work. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so what I'd like to do next is to tell you the next step in the process. And the next step is that we will be closing the application for the CEO position on April 30th. And after it closes, we'll continue conducting this search in accordance with state law. The search committee will go through applications and start scheduling interviews with qualified candidates based on the application via the search firm and based on the feedback that we continue to receive from the community. From there, the search committee will select 3 candidates, and they'll send those names to me. I will interview them, and after interviewing those 3 candidates, I'll select one of them to be the next CEO of our school system. Our goal is to have a new CEO selected and appointed by June 30th of this year. Again, thank you, everyone, for taking time to participate this evening and for making your voices heard. We'll continue to keep you updated and ensure a transparent process as we work to select the new CEO of our school system. So thank you all so much, all of you, for engaging, and we hope that everyone gets home safely, and we'll continue this conversation. Thank you so much.